HarperCollins presents Boater, A Life on England's Waterways, written and read by Jo Bell. For my mum, Wendy, a true companion on the journey, and for the navvies. Thousands have lived without love, not one without water. W. H. Auden. Very little is needed for the happy life. Marcus Aurelius. Forward. This is an adventure story. The adventure is a small one, and the country in which it happens is not on the usual map, because the place where I live is not on your map. It sits inside a parallel geography, on a map within a map of England and Wales. It requires you to look differently at the land you live in. Its history, too, is a history within a history, a rival to the chronicles of great men whose monuments are columns and whose homes were themselves monuments. This watery nation is an idiosyncratic country, which inspires a love of place without nationalism. Its people include ordinary workers, clowns, freaks, and charlatans. All share a sense of self, time, and purpose, which makes their world different to the one that lies 10 feet away beyond the water's edge. I have not crossed the Atlantic in a dinghy with nothing but a jar of peanut butter and a waterproof hat. I have not scaled Everest or rescued a friend from a crevasse by cutting off my own leg. But then, adventure is not a question of scale. What I have done is travel the waterways of England, and sometimes Wales, for 20 years. Meeting with extraordinary people in an extraordinary environment. I have learned a lot about human nature, including my own, about rope and Brasso and bravery. Above all, about the necessity for a constant supply of biscuits. The history of the canals is a history of work and of a changing planet. It involves armies of navvies who dug out the channels, thousands of mill workers and miners whose labour filled the waterways with cargo, and generations of boating families whose knowledge was deep and subtle, but unrecorded because writing was not their habit. In the 21st century, the canal is a renewed and regenerated place, populated by boaters with new needs and offerings. However, the deep and distinctive culture is still there, still rich, still funny, and still tragic. The canals of Britain are one of the great achievements of human endeavour. As an archaeologist, I maintain that they are more precious than Stonehenge. As a boater, I maintain that they are more precious than almost anything. In my partial account of their history, I touch on 3 other lives, those of James Brindley and Thomas Telford, canal builders at the beginning and end of the canal age, and that of the writer, L.T.C. Rolt. What I have discovered in writing my boating life is a deep stream of gratitude for the working boaters who introduced me to this way of life, for the present-day boaters who circulate slowly with me around this wet map, and for the deep understanding of my own country that has built up, lock by lock, mile by slow mile. Come with me on this journey. I call this meta-history. It is solid history, told by me, a historian and poet, and seen through the prism of my own experience. Plenty of boaters will disagree with my take on something or other. The boating community is full of naysayers and has as many opinions as any other community. Note, not true. The boating community has far more opinions than most other communities, and we are more vocal than most in expressing them. This is a memoir, a meta-history, a provocation. There is also a broken heart in this book. Like most, it healed. Working with the Dead. Poem. No seafarer. I sing my own true story, tell my travels, small as they are, of episodes on shallow channels, working up to Wolverhampton through the 21, or drifting into Diglis, gagging for a cup of tea. It's all about me. My boat, my slow-mo marvels, my lockside affairs.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?